Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's episode of Intuitive Angling, and much appreciated you guys checking out today's video and spending some time with me, guys. And today I want to talk about how I am so disappointed at some of the well-known bass pros out there for the behavior they've exhibited on this entire topic of forward-facing sonar. I want to talk about this once again because right now we're on the precipice of Bassmaster apparently going to make some major rule changes. The word on the street, which has been backed up by a lot of people, is that they're going to have half the tournaments with spotlighting, which is the most disgusting technology and the most pathetic example of fishing in the world. Half of them with it and half of them without. But what I want to talk about today is specifically these bass pros that know better, and sort of want to berate them a little bit in today's video because they deserve it. Also, guys, before we get started, a couple quick things. I just want to invite you guys to check out this new bait Megabass has. This is the Karashi twitch bait. Guys, this is a subsurface. It looks like a topwater, but it's not. It's a subsurface twitch bait that works just underwater like a Zara spook. And this is really, really good, guys, for clear water applications, especially if you have spotted bass and smallmouth. It's about the same size as most bait fish that the fish go after. So I'll put this Karashi link in my description of this video through my Tackle Warehouse link if you'd like to pick one up. Just really good deal. If you guys fish clear water, this is going to be a really good bait for y'all. Sort of similar to like a spy, it's like a combo between a jerk bait and a spy bait, something like that. So check it out there. Okay, guys, we've touched on this a little bit before, but I really want to dive into this a little bit deeper because I'm really disappointed in some of the bass pros out there, some of the veteran pros, and their defense of this forward-facing sonar technology. And you know, this is a topic that you can't just say one and done and quit talking about it. It affects us every day. It affects the sport every day. It degrades the sport every day. It's damaging the fishing industry. It's absolutely the devil. It's terrible. And you know, you can't ever normalize it, and you can't get complacent, and you can't try to normalize and sane wash it that it's okay, because it's not. Now, one of the most pathetic things that I see is people that try to equate this forward-facing sonar technology to other type of advancements we've had over the years. There's no comparison between forward-facing sonar to any other technology. You can't compare it to a flasher, you can't compare it to a power pole, you can't compare it to a trolling motor, you can't compare it to any type of rod and reel technology advances. There's no relationship to it whatsoever. This is a completely different ball game. It's a completely different level. So stop trying to normalize it and trying to compare it to other evolutions in the sport that have been equated as some type of controversial issue. It's not. It's not the Alabama rig. It's not the spot lock. It's not any of that stuff. It's the most destructive piece of technology that we have in our sport. Now, you have a couple different things here. You've got one segment of the veteran pros out there that have become very vocal against this for good reason, because it's basically undermining everything they've worked for. A lot of these veteran pros have spent decades honing their craft. They become specialists, they become artists in certain techniques. It's useless now. Yeah, once in a while, once in a blue moon, a tournament's going to line up right where you can do okay with that. But you can't compete with forward-facing sonar, simply on top of the fact that they're using it for shallow water applications, mid-depth applications, and deep water applications. So there's no getting away from it. So one of the things about there that I understand is you have a lot of pros coming out against this because it's getting to be okay. Before, they were scared to vocalize their opinions on it, as you know, they're going to get penalized by Bassmaster for opening their mouth and exercising their First Amendment rights that people have died for protecting. But Bassmaster apparently does not care anything about the First Amendment rights with the Elite Series pros, at least. So you've got that segment, and then you've got the other segment out there that endorse this while they hold their nose at the same time because they have some type of a benefit from it. You know, you're not going to see somebody sponsored by Garmin or Lowrance or Humminbird come out against forward-facing sonar because they're going to get the boot. You know, that's just the reality of it. So you have some people that hold their nose about it and they go against what they know is right simply because they're profiting financially from it. And that's what we see also with the tournament organizations. The tournament organizations could care less one way or the other about forward-facing sonar until you take money out of the equation. If you took money out of the equation, the only thing that they're going to care about is their constituency, their fan base, their viewers, their subscribers, and to the pros to some extent. But if you put money in it, like it is right now, all that other stuff becomes irrelevant. They don't care what the pros think. They don't care what the constituency thinks. They don't care if they're losing viewers. They don't care if they're losing members. They don't care about anything as long as that check comes in every year from the electronic companies. So that is a freaking pathetic way to view anything, especially when you're dealing with an entity within the fishing organization that should have higher ideals and standards. Yes, they are for-profit organizations, but at the same time, they are the only thing that we have to secure the future of the sport with bass fishing and to maintain the integrity and to maintain the tradition and the heritage of it. They're the guardians of it. And right now, you've got the fox guarding the hen house on this. So another thing with that is you've got some bass pros out there that I don't know where they're coming from. It's almost like they're trying to reinvent their youth or something, or trying to fight aging or fight time passing. And they're trying to side with this technology, and they're trying to side with the younger anglers. But guys, those people know better. When you have a piece of technology in forward-facing sonar that allows you to not have to fish to find the fish, where you have a piece of artificial technology that you turn on, it shows you where the fish are at, it shows you what the fish are doing, it shows you how they're moving, it shows you how deep you are, it shows your bait in the water, it shows them coming up to your bait, it shows them when they eat your bait. You can't say there's no talent to that whatsoever. There's nothing honorable about that. It's disgusting, it's a disgrace. And it's not any type, you can't equate any type of skill in bass fishing to the use of forward-facing sonar. There's no equation to that whatsoever. So I am just disgusted by some of these pros out there that have taken the stance on it because they know better. And like I said, I get tired of talking about it, guys. I get absolutely tired, but at the same time, you can't give up the fight because that's what they want. They want to wear you down. They want to sweep this under the rug. They want to minimalize you. They want to squash your voice. They want to tell you to sit down and shut up. They don't want to bring it up. But as people that love the sport and want the sport to have a sustainable future, you can't ever stop talking about it, guys. And I know you get tired of it, and there's people out there that say that I do this for clicks and I'm trying to get views. But this is part of the platform of doing what's right. And since you're dealing with a piece of technology that has no redeeming qualities to the sport, there's no benefit, there's nothing that forward-facing sonar does for the greater good in bass fishing. It does nothing for sustainability. It does nothing to improve the bass fishing industry. It does nothing except weaken primal skills and talent and true art form and weakens true talent. What true talent is in bass fishing, it takes that away from it. It diminishes every single thing that there is out there, and it allows a segment of the bass fishing population to excel in the sport that have not put in their time and do not have the skills that define what being a professional bass fisherman are. It'd be the same way if you took just some average golfer that played on the weekend and gave them a piece of technology that gave them an artificial advantage, and if they knew how to use that technology better than some veteran pro, then they would excel on it. Take, for example, if you're a professional golfer and they came up with some putter that allowed you to completely line up in the putt and sink any putt on the green, like it allowed you to read the grass and the lay of it, and the moisture levels and the humidity and the club head speed and everything, and you sunk every putt. But apparently this technology was not only expensive, but you had to spend time and you had to become a master at using this technology. But you're beating guys like Jack Nicklaus or Tiger Woods or whatever back in the day simply because you can read this technology. The skill of lining up on that putt with your eyes, feeling it out, analyzing the break, looking at the break, and making that putt is useless anymore, simply as long as you can read that piece of technology. So it's the same in fishing. So anyway, guys, if you're one of those pros out there that are trying to defend it, shame on you. Especially, I can understand if you got a family to feed and you're getting paid by electronic companies, you're in a difficult position because you're basically having to fight between doing what's right and doing what's not right, and then feeding your family. That I understand that, but that's a small percentage of the pros out there. I'm talking about the pros that know better, that don't have any vested interest in it, that are on the bandwagon. I'll include even other people like some podcasters and YouTubers and some, just fishermen, older fishermen in general. So anyway, guys, y'all know what's right. It feels inside. You can feel what's right and what's wrong. And as you move through life, you can feel it in your solar plex, what is right. And there's not any way that this is feeling right to those people that seem to justify it in their own minds. So anyway, guys, let me know what y'all think about it. Talk later. See you.